Hello everybody and welcome back to this week's new vlog. I wanted to do a bit of a book of the month catch-up vlog because I have a couple from the past couple of years that I wanted to get to and dwindle down my physical TBR. So in this vlog I will be reading The Four Winds by Kristin, Lightbreakers by Aja Gabel, and The Last Contract of Isako by Fonda. Now the last book is not technically a catch-up because I started it in May and ordered it. It is a new 2026 release, but it felt fitting to read also because it was an anticipated read for me. I absolutely love Fonda. So let's get into the three books. If you're new here, hi, my name is Noah. I'm a bookish and lifestyle vlogger born and raised and still based in New York City. I have been trying to do my best with themed vlogs, but I am a huge mood reader as well. So if that sounds like of any interest, I would absolutely love it if you would stick around and subscribe at the end if you so please. Hi, it's me again. I started this vlog a couple months ago and accidentally deleted a few clips of me actually reading or starting The Four Winds, which really sucks. It was like months ago and I can't really do anything about it at this point. I just need to be more careful about clearing out my SD card when I'm working on a couple vlogs at a time. But this book has been on my TBR for quite some time. I ordered it from Book of the Month as I believe it was one of the Lolly Award winners at the end of the year. Now this is a historical fiction novel during the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl, following Elsa Martinelli and her family while she is in search of a better life. And it is following a couple years or a decade into her life. It's a long story, kind of literary also, because we're just following this grueling time in America when everyone is searching. Everyone, at least in the Dust Bowl, she has a farm in Texas, is really struggling because of the drought. There's also just no money to be going around because they cannot make any money. So we're following a young Elsa in search of the American dream and fighting for her family. That bond between Elsa and especially her oldest daughter, Loretta. Elsa has two children, her younger son, Anthony, Ant, and the older daughter, Loretta, who we get a POV from sometimes. And Loretta, she is such a teenager. She is so difficult. She's still, I think, 14 where I am right now, but she is such a daddy's girl. So everything that goes wrong, anything that goes wrong, she blames it on the mom. She blames how unhappy her father is on the mom, and it's so tough because she's the firstborn, and Elsa really just learned everything about how to be a mom and loving unconditionally in a way that she never received from her parents, and having to bear the anger of her daughter constantly is so sad. And I feel like it's such a part of motherhood of having a daughter also, which is a scary thought to me. And I also know how tough I gave it to my mom, but I feel like I wasn't too tough until I was junior year of high school. So I do get very, very frustrated with Loretta. As she is getting older, I feel like she is starting to become a little bit nicer to her mom while also getting her own ideas about how the world works and what she perceives as wrong and right. Because we're getting the POV from Loretta as well, I'm definitely interested to see how her character will progress. While I was eating, I finished The Four Winds and I'm giving it 5 stars. Y'all, it's the first day of April for context, and this is my first 5-star read of the year. I am so glad for this. There was a moment towards the end after the second strike, okay, if you know, you know. Loretta's talking to her mom. She's like, I don't know if I can do this without you. I had to pause audio. I was eating and I had to pause audio and just read physically because I knew it would get me so much more emotional that way. Oh my gosh. This book, this whole thing is low-key. I feel like it could be really boring if you are more into plot, because it's really just a couple years in these people's lives. But I think what really pushed it for me was definitely Elsa and how resilient she was and how she was just kind of going with the motions. But I really loved that in the end she really became who her daughter wanted her to be, and seeing her full potential of being brave and doing things that make you scared and being this role model that Loretta had always wanted. They had this bonding moment, which I really, really loved, and it's making me emotional just thinking about it again and how this book went. And I just, oh my god, Kristin really writes phenomenal female characters, and I can't wait to read more of her stuff since I know she is so beloved. I can't believe that this is only my second book by her. This was absolutely phenomenal. I was actually had a video idea that I have like books compiled, a list compiled for This Vlog Doesn't Stop Until I Find a 5-star read, and because I hadn't had one, and I guess I don't need to do it because so I don't know where we're gonna go from here because one of the other books that I wanted to read for this video is rated really quite low. This one, I'm really glad that I read it. Oh my gosh, what a special story. 5 motherfucking stars. Hello. I haven't actually done a clip for this vlog because I, for a long time, was unsure if I wanted to continue this vlog, mostly because I had been prioritizing other vlogs, and now the first book I've read had deleted clips, and I read like over a month ago. But hi, it's Memorial Day weekend. It's my raw day because I'm alone this weekend, and I'm reading Lightbreakers by Aja Gabel. Gorgeous reflective cover. I believe this is a little sci-fi. We are following a couple, Maya, who's an artist, and Noah, who is a quantum physicist. They're happy in their marriage, but there are some things that they still carry from their past relationships. Noah, for one, was previously married and divorced his wife because of the sudden death of his child. Noah is invited by this company to discover or like go through the secrets of time travel, so they move to Texas, deep into Texas, where they have this lab in the desert, and he's hoping that in these experiments he can see his daughter again. Really sad stuff. Maya, on the other hand, is returning to her own past and is like talking to her ex kind of secretly. They're going through like these really different stages in their lives, kind of like parallel to each other. I am maybe 40% of the way through this book, and I really would like to finish it today since I don't really have any plans. Tomorrow will be my more productive day. So far, it's taking a really melancholic tone, and it has dual POV between Maya and Noah, sometimes with Eileen, I think her name is, Noah's ex, because he has been talking to her about the possibility of maybe being able to see their daughter. Would she take that opportunity? It's really sad because Maya wants a child and is finding it really difficult to bring up this topic to her husband, who doesn't really talk about his grief or memories of his daughter, but she can tell that it really takes a toll on him, and he doesn't know if he actually wants another child because he's so like just afraid of what can happen, of the sudden loss, and being able to wear his heart on his sleeve again. But so far, pretty decent. It's almost 10 p.m. I'm basically ready for bed. I'm just tucking myself in with my book because I'm home alone. And I do have on the game. It's game 3 for the Eastern Finals. Obviously, Knicks are up. And we'll see how this goes, but I'm like surprised I'm a little sleepy because I really didn't do anything all day. I do want to still finish my book, but it's taking like a really sad turn for their marriage. I finished Lightbreakers. I honestly was really skimming the ending while I was watching the game because I really just wanted it to be over. I really wasn't vibing with the characters, and the fact that it was more literary than the marketed sci-fi was annoying me because the sci-fi of it was so limited and didn't really feel like sci-fi. It was low-key giving like Stranger Things 11 in the bath. Their whole relationship, it didn't seem like they were really communicating at all and that they should have been together. I just overall was not enjoying the story anymore, and that's why I'm giving it 2.5 stars. I actually haven't filmed a single clip since starting this book, even though I meant to. Today is truly a veg day for me, which to me in my world means rot day, because I went to my first run club yesterday, and first of all, why didn't they do any warm-ups? Because we split into our groups and I thought there would be warm-ups. There wasn't. So my knees are shot. I definitely inherited my dad's weak knees because, damn, my dad was a runner, but oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to do it. It's just cheaper than like going to dance classes. But I went to Run Club. It was for brides. I went to Zoomies. I got this out of it. I was really red after. It was a really uncomfortable situation for me. No offense at all, literally no shade, but I went by myself and I put myself out of my comfort zone. Because my knees hurt so bad, I haven't been able to like properly stretch. So today I'm like not even gonna leave the house. I'm gonna try to be in bed as much as I can, keeping my legs elevated, no pressure on my knees. It's a heavy laundry day though. I have to fold laundry that I did yesterday, regular laundry, and then I'm washing like my sheets and switching them out to my summer ones because it's really, really hot. But I needed to talk about the last contract of Isako, which I've been reading for a little bit too long, if I'm honest. It's been like a week. I read nothing yesterday, and I would like to finish this book today. I have 200 plus pages. Let me just see if I can sit sideways with like my legs up. Is that comfortable? That actually hurts a lot. Okay! So I'm reading this, which I decided to do because technically this is still me catching up on my book of the month books, even though this is my May 2026 book, because it was like literally the May 31st when I started it, and it is one of my goals to read my book of the month books in the month that I order them. This one is a sci-fi standalone by Fonda, who is the author of the Greenbone trilogy, the Greenbone saga, which I really like. This one is following Isako, who is basically like a contract killer, sort of. So they live on a planet, definitely post-Earth. They're living on a planet where not every part of this planet is completely habitable for them. And her job is to deliver like retirements to people, which retirement basically means you leave the atmosphere and you die. There's like no place for you, no resources for you. Sorry, your family will be taken care of, but you've got to go. Your time is up. It doesn't matter about age. I guess it's just about how valuable you are to your company that you work for. She has like one last mission before she decides to retire. She's about 50 years old. She feels like her time has come. She has the final mission that she can't refuse, and at the middle of it, she realizes that Martin, her last and worst apprentice, has somehow made his way to the top and really like cut ties with a lot of people, and she's figuring out everything that he had gotten himself into and uncovering like everything. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, but with it being a standalone sci-fi novel, which already is out of my comfort zone, it was just a lot to take in. So it took me a minute to sort of like really grasp everything. I'm definitely there in that groove and I would like to finish it today. I didn't realize I had so much left, but this book is over 500 pages. So far where I'm at, she has met up with one of her old friends that she used to be really close with when she was married. She has a daughter who's about 19 and is ready to like be out in the world. It's a very interesting world. They don't have like moons. They explained it at the very beginning. A very different system of how like hierarchy of how the world works. Each day is 26 hours. The week consists of 6 days, and a month is still 30 days, but there's 360 days divided into 60 weeks in this world. Very interesting. Low-key, when they're talking about time, it kind of like just goes over my head. It's just like a lot to think about, but I really like this. I really like Fonda Lee's writing. I've read some of her other novellas as well. Isako is very, very cool, calm, collected sort of woman. She is very skilled in the longsword, which is her weapon of choice. Guns are illegal, but it doesn't stop people from printing their own, and have very limited resources like water. It's very, very expensive and you really have to ration. Showers are very short, washing your hands is a luxury, and you don't really like drink a lot of water, and etc, etc. Fish is basically a huge expensive luxury as well. She is really coming into the middle, and kind of her personal connections to Martin, obviously her apprentice, her former apprentice, is kind of hindering her mission. Her emotions are definitely a huge factor in discovering what happened to him and not wanting to realize maybe the truth or the bad parts about him, even though she knew that he wasn't really a good apprentice. The part that I'm currently at is sort of showing us the background of the apprentice. Sometimes we're getting these journal snippets from him of him, what it seems like is him talking to an AI thing that's like recording everything. So we're seeing the other side of it. I don't know how long this is going to go on for, but it's definitely adding to the story. And the apprentice, Martin, his boss is Sandbar Uchi, who is a huge like top executive for a gas company. Isako is charged with finding dirt on Sandbar Uchi. The names on this planet are also super weird. Some of them have names after fish or land not landmarks, what are they called? Like sandbar uchi. I definitely would like to figure out what's going to happen. This last contract is basically Isako figuring out dirt on sandbar uchi so he doesn't get up any higher into this hierarchy in the world. It's just really difficult to explain, but I am enjoying it. I'm about to start editing and I realized that I have not done my wrap up of the last contract of Isako. I really enjoyed this one. I really appreciated how easy it was to digest as someone who doesn't read a lot of sci-fi, and also with it being a standalone, I think because there isn't a lot of room to do world building throughout a series, even though I definitely think it could be a standalone series following like different characters in this world, because it's a very interesting world and how like far into the future it's set, with it being like that people are no longer living on Earth and they like created this whole society. It's very cutthroat because there's such limited resources. I'm giving this book 4.25 stars. I really enjoyed it. It didn't quite reach like super high because I just felt like I wasn't really bonded to one character, although I will say that Isako is a very, very badass character. Sorry, I have my loose SD cards in my pouch. Overall, I think Fonda did a phenomenal job, and again, I think it would do really well as a standalone series. I didn't mind the fact that I didn't really know the direction the book was going in, especially where it was separated into a couple parts, and this whole last contract thing sort of became a different journey in figuring out what happened to her apprentice Martin. Getting to see a different side of like how a long knife contractor works depending on who they're working for, and how different, even though he worked under Isako, how different Martin was as a person, as a employee, and also as an atier. That's what the word is. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching this vlog. I read 3 books, right? It's been such a long time that now I'm like, oh, what have I read? What are these ratings? But I'm glad I was able to read this within May, technically, because I did read it on May 31st. This vlog itself is a little bit delayed. So I have the last contract of Isako, 4.25 stars. The Lightbreakers really kind of disappointed me. Is also supposedly marketed as a sci-fi, and yet I didn't really get enough of that in the same way that I was really in this whole new world with Isako. And then I read Beautiful 5 stars, my first of the year, and I just had to keep it. Even though I read it months ago, I had to keep it in this vlog for that purpose.